Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Picked up a new helmet, so I figured why not do a little video about it, show off some of the older helmets I've had and why I decided to go with this one. So let's just get straight into it. First helmet was a Shoei, I don't remember what model, the RFSR. Not a bad helmet, really quiet, really comfortable, but it looks like you're wearing a beach volleyball on your head when you have this on. You feel the wind. This thing is ginormous. So comfortable though, so quiet. Wore this one for a long time on my Bonneville before eventually switching over. What is this one? The Moto 3 from Bell. This helmet I love. I still wear this helmet sometimes. This has been a great helmet. Super comfortable, super light. It is loud, and that little thing really starts making some noise when the wind's hitting it. Then we switched over to the Tenere. I decided I need to get an actual off-road helmet. So I ended up picking up this one from Liat. This is the one I've been using up to this point, and I love this helmet. Super light, really comfortable, great ventilation. But in these colder months, that great ventilation is cold. It's real cold. It has vents everywhere, so when you're going down the road, you can feel that cold air. When I'm out there riding, it's like 30 degrees. You can feel it coming through right on the scalp. So decided to try a full face helmet. Back to it. Just for the winter months. This one can be a little vibraty in the wind too. Off-road stuff, it's been great. But if you got to get on the highway at all, especially when it's cold, you're going to pay for it. So I picked up the Uriah Commander 2. Let's get it unboxed, check it out, and I'll explain some of my reasonings behind why I went with this particular helmet. All right. Sorry if you can hear that heater I got going. It is freezing in here. Let's go ahead and break this thing open. 5-year warranty, very nice. That out of the way. Some actual helmet. And what do we got here? Little koozie, not bad. I don't think that comes with the helmet. That just comes with where I got it from. What is this? Uriah accessories. So, what I have in here is some GoPro action cam mounts for the helmet. I'll show how those go on. It's like the chin cover, air cover thingy. And then a couple extra parts, some vent covers and stuff like that. But we'll get into that. And pin lock. Can't go wrong with that, especially this time of year. All right, helmet itself. Typical helmet bag. Nice foam. There it is. Not too shabby. This is a really sharp looking helmet. I wonder how this is going to be on the back of the neck. Maybe it sits up high enough it's not an issue. It's a really nice helmet. That's pretty stinking light. One of the things I like is the middle button right here. Pops your hood. You can lift it from either side on these little thumb tabs. But I do like it's right in the middle of the helmet, so either hand can reach up and just pop that visor right up. And then this I don't really know about. Maybe it'll come in handy, maybe I'll never use it. Maybe it's just a gimmick, I don't know. But I guess it's there if you need it in a pinch. seems to work pretty well now. We'll see how long that holds up before it just stops working completely. Yeah, I wanted this one because you can still wear it with goggles. Fold this up, throw your goggles on, or you can just detach the visor and just run goggles. But it feels really nice. It's got the usual comm stuff. Little spot, run your comm cables into the helmet, which is pretty nice. Just your very basic D-rings for clasping. So the whole reason I decided to go with the full face was the cold weather, obviously. But I like the fact that you can run it with or without the visor if you just want to run goggles. Right here, open and close these vents, focus, open and close these vents. It's just a little click of a button. Open those up, close them off. And then obviously you've got your front vents wide open, close it up. And then the action cam mount, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm gonna zoom in just a hair here, get a better view of this. So this guy's supposed to pop out. That guy comes off. Comes with this little guy. There you go. See that? It's got a little squish to it. So those tabs will lock in right in here. Put that there. Take your adhesive mount off. Stick it right in there. You're good to go. I don't know if I'd want an action camera mounted to the top of my head, just like catching the wind, but it's an option, which is kind of nice they included it. So you don't have to permanently attach anything to your helmet if you don't want to. You just squeeze the thumb things in. That pops right out. Not super easily, but easily enough. I'm guessing this one goes on here when you take the visor off. It'll actually screw down to this screw right here. So you have a mounting spot if you want it. I don't think I'd mount anything to the top, but it's nice it came with it if you want it. Down in there. Like so. Just like that. Gives you a little bit of a wind barrier under your chin. Aero Commander 2, or Aero, Array, I don't know how you pronounce it. Bought this with my own money. Nobody sent this to me. I'll decide for myself if I like it or not. But at least hopefully I won't be freezing to death riding this time of year. So let's put it on, see how it fits, see how it looks. So the fit is great. It is really comfortable, I have to say. Slid right on. I almost wonder if I could have went with a small, just for how it fits now, but I think it would be the same shell size regardless, and I think it would just be way too tight. How it fits now, maybe once it breaks in, it'll feel a little loose, but it's just the right amount of snug. The foam material on the inside feels really good, really soft. I'm really happy with that. I don't know how it'll be in the summer months when it starts to get a little warmer, but right now it feels really good. It's got a very, whatever liner they put over the foam is really soft and really nice. What else? The back of the neck stuff doesn't seem to be a problem. Great field of view. And curious how the sound levels will be wearing it. I doubt it's going to be as quiet as my big old bubble Shoei, but I think it'll still be fairly quiet. Definitely quieter than my Liat half face. So maybe that's what we'll do next. We'll take it out and get it on the road. as you can see, we didn't go for a test ride. After I finished filming that video, the next day I went to go for the ride and I had fork oil all over the floor over here on the clutch side. So I had one of those fork scrapers for the seals. I tried to use that to clean it out, but it just kept leaking like a government budget. So I called the guys at RG3 over in Boise and asked them if they could just do a full service, change all the seals and stuff for me, and then inspect it, make sure everything was good. So I pulled them off, ran them down there. He went through them, said the forks were fine, but the seal had fouled. So it must have pulled something up in there. But he put a heavier weight oil in it. I think it was 7 or 7.5 or something like that. And then he adjusted the clickers a little bit. He said it'll be a little bit nicer. So I got those back. We're gonna throw those on real quick. Let me show you. He also switched out the, I don't know if you could see it, but so the stock dust cover, boot, whatever, it's just kind of like a hard plastic that slips over there and it's not very good. So he put these ones on that have like a spring on the outside that pull it in, help keep some of that junk out. And then I ordered some Kriega wraparound covers that just zip tie on and Velcro, and who knows when those will get here, but that'll help a little bit too. He said other than that, the forks looked fine. Hopefully the heavier weight will make them run a little bit better for me. So we'll throw these in and then we can go for our test ride. All right, before I'd taken these off, I did a quick measurement just to see how far they were sticking up out of the triple trees, and they were around 8 millimeters. So I'm just gonna make a mark and try and get them back to that same area. Just make my life a little easier putting these back in. Make a little mark on that one. Do the same on here. And then I'll still use the ruler to measure them once we get in, but this at least gets me close to where I need to be when I put them back in there. All right, I'm not sure the best angle to film this. I've never messed with suspension before. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I need to put oil on. Anyway, I'm not sure the best angle to film this. I've got a screwdriver kind of wedged into each clamp where the bolts are to kind of spread them apart because they're real tight. And I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to go up in these triple trees without ruining anything. Where is it at? There we go. All right. Stickers are cool, but then you gotta like make sure they're lined up. Do it like that. Where's my mark? All right, let me move you guys around. You can see what I'm doing with measuring the top of these. All right, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little black mark right there. It's kind of my guide. And then I'm going to slide this in here and see if we can't get it to around 8 millimeters. So let me grab another 8, 9, 10, perfect. All right, so just pull these screwdrivers out. There we go. You know, I scuffed it a little bit, but. And then we'll double check this one more time. Right on 8. All right, let me get these bolts lightly tightened down. You really want to be careful with torque specs on stuff like your tubes, because you'll end up ovaling them or doing something else regrettable. All right, let's get these slightly snugged up. All right, snug up the bottom ones and then put the fork on the other side. Little tip, if you see vertical streaks in your chromes, it's a good sign that your suspension's ready for some servicing, and that could lead to deeper marring and get oil coming down. That's what they told me anyway, but do it with it what you will. All right, that one's somewhat in there. So let me grab the other one and we'll throw it in this side and get it measured out. Oops. So I'm just using a flathead screwdriver to like wedge between here, just keep the clamp open, like I said. I'm not like jamming it way in there, just tapping it by hand to get it just a little bit more play. Sorry, it's freezing out here. My nose is running. It's like 30 degrees out here right now. Oh, that's way too far. Should be somewhere around there. Those stickers look the same. I don't want this to look retarded. Close enough? Close enough. All right. Relay. Get this behind here. What are we sitting at? All right. I don't remember what the torque specs are. I'm gonna have to look that up. 17. Now I need a 10. All right. Kind of a pain to get in here, but we'll figure it out. Just alternating between the two. Snug a little bit here, snug a little bit there. Forks are back on. Sweet. Now we start piecing all of this stuff back together so I can get the wheel on there. Start putting this back on. That little guy, little slot goes on the post, and then you got a hole right there. This is the cover for your ABS sensor. Use some high temp grease that can hold up to water, moisture. I feel like I'm forgetting a step. We'll see. Just grabbing a little bit of grease that came out. Not a lot. Actually, just a tiny bit. Make sure that's all cleaned up. Alright, we're done with the grease. Start messing with these brakes. Brake pads are shifted. That's in there. Looks pretty good. There it is. All right, we're all set there. So next I'm gonna torque the axle, then raise the bike up a little bit, and then I'll torque the brakes, and then I'll torque the, what do you call them, the axle pinch bolts. And that should be done, and then we can put the plastics back on, and we should be good to go. So. There we go. I'm just going to do this a few times. Squeeze and hold. And while I'm still holding it, all right, camera died. So I'm gonna do the front axle pinch bolts now. And this side of the axle, it'll float in and out. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of push on it a few times, get that axle to kind of move around, figure out where it wants to be, and then tighten down those pinch bolts. And these are 15 foot-pounds. So again, nothing crazy. And I got a video from when I did this, straightening this whole front end, where I went through all these steps. If you want to go back and watch a more in-depth step-by-step on tightening up your front end. All right, now we can start putting the covers back on. All right. Don't be a pain in the butt. All right, so this guy with the spacer goes behind here. It's a weird angle. So go right behind this hole through the spacer and into there. And this little guy with the washer. Hold all your cables. Where's my... I bought these little plastic screws. You find them on Amazon. It's just a plastic screw. I put them in right here because I've had them... Well, I saw somebody talk about how these bolts can break and then you got to drill them out, but these plastic ones, if they break, you just melt the tiny screwdriver, stick it in there, and you can get them out super easy. So for these side ones, plastic screw. Just a Phillips screw, screws right in there, you're done. It's super easy. I really want to get some cooler aftermarket guards for this. Not a big fan of these, but for now they do the trick. Make sure these are snugged up. It's all done. Now we can do the other side. All right, I think we're good to go. Now we can finally get on that test ride. And the bike might even feel a little better now. Oh yeah, that front end's definitely not as quick to squish down as it was. Feels pretty good though. All right. Wait for the weather to get a little better and then we'll get out on the road.